let's go straight to the point. This video is a book haul because, well, we had Black Friday and also I had quite a bit of luck in the past couple of months. Let's knock on wood so luck continues. But basically, I had quite a bit of luck finding books in the past couple of months, books that I have been looking for quite some time, but they were always sold out. Or finding books I've been wanting to read for quite some time with really good deals. So I did some book shopping, and I believe this video will be titled something like November book haul, but in reality this is more of a collective book haul because I bought these books for during a span of 2-3 months. Some of them actually, I have a few books that still haven't arrived. I think I'll include them in this haul as well because they're coming, okay? But let's start by the books I already have here. I have one that isn't still unboxed because it arrived today, but I think I'll start by the ones that are already open. Let me pick this first selection of books, but let me remove this one because this one, there is a sequel, and the sequel is in the end of the pile. So let's start by this pile. Starting by books I have been looking for so long, but they are always sold out. It's Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I've been wanting to read this book ever since it came out, and I saw all those people talking about. At first they said it was more, I heard it was more of a sci-fi, and then I heard it was more of a literary fiction. But either way, I was always very curious. There is something about this book that I was always very attracted to read, and I always wanted to read it. But every single time I went to try and buy it, it was sold out everywhere, or it was the only copies I managed to find, they were very expensive, ridiculously expensive, and I just couldn't justify paying the price for this book. And yes, I could have bought it a translated version because those I found translated versions of this book, but I just wanted to read it in English because this is the original language it was written at, and if I can read and I have the opportunity to read a book in the original language it was written in, I personally prefer. I love translations, but sometimes things can get lost in translation, so if I have the opportunity to read something in its original language, I will try and do that. So yeah, I finally got Tomorrow, and I am very happy, and I plan on reading this one because I've been wanting to read this book for, I think it's almost 2 years. Well, not exactly 2 years, actually more like I've been wanting to read this book for nearly a year, and I finally got a copy and I read it because there's just something about this book that keeps calling my name and that I am interested in. I think it's a mixture of the plot with the cover because I kind of like this cover. It's very like video gamey. Early 2000s video game, late 90s video game, no. And actually video games, it's a big part of this plot. Basically it follows, I believe, two friends that their friendship has ups and downs. Sometimes they are talking, sometimes they are not talking, and I believe they develop video games, which would explain the plot. But that's the first book in this haul. Where can I? One of the books almost out. I think I'll put it in front of the other ones. So yeah, now the second book I got, and let's go for the one that went away from me and tried to fall and meet the ground. It is White Knight by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I got this one in one of Amazon mini sales, and it was surprisingly cheap, and for a moment I thought it might be some kind of scam, and it was not actually sold by Amazon, or maybe I was buying the Kindle because it was very cheap. I believe it is cheaper than the recommended price or something like that. But yeah, So far, I haven't had the most luck with Russian classics in general. I just don't vibe with them. They are a bit very sad and depressive, or just boring, or that's my opinions about the ones I read so far. But you know, for the price that this book was, and the fact that this is a short book and it has been on my I want to read someday in my live books, you know, I got it and I'm proud of that. And then where I have other books, I think I'll go by order. Then I got the book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa. This is a classic Portuguese novel that again it's one of my on the list of books I want to read someday in my life, and it was on sale, so I got it now. And I believe this is vignettes or parts of a narration, and it's kind of semi-autobiographical of the author. I could easily be wrong, but I believe that's what this book is about. But don't hold me accountable for my description of this book during this video, because I still haven't read it. Then we have another, this one's translated fiction. It's Laughable Loves by Milan Kundera. This is a collection of 7 essays about, I believe, love, and it seemed interesting, and again, it was on my list of books I want to read someday in my life, and this copy was on sale. I found it on sale, so I got it, and I plan on reading it someday in my life. Maybe soon, maybe not. And another book that was on the list of books I want to read someday in my life, and I saw a copy on sale. And this one, it's not only one book I want to read someday in my life, but also this book was actually a recommended read, or at some point during my college journey, this book was on the must reads, or a book must read. What am I talking? I'm being very confusing. But basically, I was supposed to read this book for a class in college, and I don't remember what happened. But for some reason, during the midway through the semester, the professor decided to change the book we were supposed to read, or at least I was supposed to read. So I never actually read it. But yeah, it's On the Road by Jack Kerouac, which is a book about people on the road. And I wanted to read something in my life because I was meant to read it for college at some point. So I found a copy on sale again. So I got it. And I'll finally read On the Road someday in my life because I own the book. So if I'm buying the book, I'm reading the book. Now we have more just books I want to read from in the foreseeable, close future, soon future. The first one is When You Should Ask by Elissa Sussman. I'm gonna be honest, one of the reasons I want to read this book is because of the cover, because the cover is just, I find it cute. I believe When You Should Ask, it takes place into timeline, and it is about a journalist. She interviews her celebrity crush, or the split celebrity, and they have amazing chemistry, and years later, people loved that first interview, and years later, she interviews him again, and it's a romance novel, so I guess there's some romance going on. And that's as far as I know. I also heard some people saying it's very insta-lovey, which is one of the reasons why I am kind of apprehensive about this book, because insta-lovey, personally, I don't like it, but I don't know, I always was curious, in part because of this cover, because this cover is cute. One other book it's one of those books that I entered on the bookstore. I was looking for a specific book. I didn't find that specific book, but I found this book, which is one I've been wanting, I've been wanting to read ever since I finished reading Betrayed and Book Lovers, because I am in my Emily Henry fangirl phase, and I was almost buying this book on Kindle because I hate the translated Brazilian cover, but also the American cover, simply because I hate orange. But the UK cover, for me, it was okay, and it is You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. from the mainstream Emily Henry books, this was the one that I was missing because well, I already read Picture It on Kindle, and I might or might not be considering buying that book on physical form or a physical copy just so I can create a shrine to Emily Henry. But yeah, I called You and Me on Vacation, and I couldn't believe when I entered the bookstore because there was one single copy, and the one single copy, it's in the UK cover, which I much prefer than the original American cover, which is also the Brazilian cover. It's very similar to that, but I hate that cover simply because it's orange and I hate orange. But the UK cover is pink, and I got You and Me on Vacation on the cover that I like for an okay price, and I'm still like, wow, it's a happy moment. Okay, it's a happy moment. And I think it's not, I would say it's surprising, but it's not surprising that I found this book on my favorite bookstore ever, which also it's not in my city, unfortunately, but it's my favorite bookstore, and I found a book I have been wanting for quite some time. In the cover, I've been wanting. There's a reason that bookstore, it's my favorite bookstore, because I always find good books there, and always in the copies that I want them at, and always with a reasonable price. Now we have here, no, I'll keep this one by the end because this book we have a sequel that I'll show you the two books together, but the sequel it's the last one on this pile. So let's keep that one separated and let's go for this one because we are already talking about Emily Henry. And I've been wanting, it's Happy Place. I've been wanting to read The Happy Place ever since it came out, but the prices, like, I couldn't find this book because it was sold out. And then when I found it, the price was ridiculous. And then one day I got a notification from Amazon saying they were having some kind of flash sale on this book and on the hardcover, and I bought it immediately. Thank you, now I have Happy Place, and I got it at a reasonable price. And every single time I see Happy Place again, everywhere I see, the prices, it's always higher than the one that I got, which makes it is even better. So I'm so excited to read Happy Place. I'm my Emily Henry fangirl face. Yay! And now let's go to, like, I guess the mood will be very different because it's Babel by R.F. Kuang. Is that how you pronounce her name? I'm not sure. But I hear this book, it's very, very, very sad, which is interesting, but also the topic of this book seems like something I would enjoy. This Dark Academia, to be honest, I haven't read much Dark Academia, but apparently this book talks a lot about languages and translation, and personally, I love languages. I speak quite a few. I like to learn languages, and it's something that fascinates me. This aspect of translation in this book made me more curious, and also apparently it talks a lot about colonialism, or there is some kind of reference to colonialism. The plot of this book sounds interesting to me, but I'm a little bit worried because I see people saying it's quite a sad book, and I saw some videos of some people crying while reading this book. So I'm not sure if I would cry because personally I'm not a person that cries. I cried in one movie in my life, and that was Toy Story 3, when I believed the toys were going to be burned, and that's pretty much it. It's a book that recently has made me intrigued, but also kind of scared, because will this be a good sad book that I will enjoy, or will it be War and Peace, which is a good book but a book that send me on a spiral of reading slump? I don't know. So yeah, that's Babel. And then I have the one here that is unopened, but let me show you the one that is open, which is Biography of X by Catherine Lacey. I saw this book on TikTok, and again it was on sale, so I thought, okay, let's get it because it seemed interesting. Apparently, Biography of X. X is this artist, and it's a very mysterious artist where not even the spouse of X knows where X was born or anything. Doesn't know much about X's life. And then one day the artist dies, and the spouse decides to go on a journey to write the biography, and therefore the spouse needs to go on a journey to find out and like learn about X's the life of X, because X is just such a mystery, and it seemed such an interesting plot. It seemed kind of weird, kind of different, so yeah, I got it, and now it's on the pile. Now let's go for the unopened book, the unboxing of this video. I'm too far from the scissors, so I'm not going to wear the scissors, okay? I can open the package with my own hands. And I can also open, I'm sure I can open the plastic with my own hands. It's at this moment that I miss having long nails. Because with long nails, this package would be already open, but for some reason I decided that I was on my short nail phase. So now, opening. Yeah, I got it. Takes longer. So I got the Daisy Haites, The Great Undoing book. So I read Magnolia Parks earlier this year, and then I got the 2 sequels. But Daisy Haites, The Great Undoing, I couldn't find the book, and then when I found it, it was another one of those cases where it was at a ridiculous price, and no way I was paying that price. But then I saw it on sale, on a Black Friday sale, and it's the old cover, so I got it because I have a feeling I want to read this book. It feels, Magnolia Parks felt such like Gossip Girl. I have another book from Black Friday sales that is supposed to arrive, and it's on the post, but it still haven't arrived as I'm filming this video, and it is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, because, well, Ali Hazelwood books are for me a great cure for reading slump, so maybe I'll read Babel and then I'll save Love Theoretically for after Babel. And other books that are in the mail. So I've been considering and trying to decide if I want to read these books or not, because they're just so popular. So I have FOMO, but also I'm not sure if they are my thing, and also they're just so difficult to track down a copy of. And for a moment I considered buying the Kindle versions, but the Kindle versions are also kind of expensive and almost the price of the physical copies. So why not track down the physical copies? So that's what I'm trying to do. I have 2 books of the series, of the Akutar series. So I bought all the books technically, but the first one, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and what are the names of the other one? I forgot it. And A Court of Frost and Starlight, I bought it and they might get here. I still don't have a date for them to arrive. The shipping was like, I bought it in a bookstore and the shipping, they didn't have an official date for shipping, but I believe it might arrive. I hope it might arrive somewhere soon, because on the system of the bookstore it said they had a copy here, but they were in another state, so they need to ship that for me from another state. A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Frost and Starlight, I don't have a date for them to arrive, but I bought it. I paid for them. A Court of Wings and Ruin, I bought it and I have a predicted date to arrive also, because it was also somewhere else. And then when I went to the bookstore, A Court of Mist and Fury was there, so I already have that one. I fetched and I made sure I have this one because again, it's just so difficult to get a hold of this book. Like, I've been trying for months and months and months to maybe like considering and occasionally checking to buy this book, or at least the first book, and it's always sold out. It's impressive. I want to be Sarah J. Maas when I grow up. I'll write some kind of fairy fantasy and hope it sells. So, because like, this woman is so successful because her books are always sold out everywhere. Every single website, every single bookstore. Even secondhand, I couldn't find it. So I have A Court of Mist and Fury, and I also got A Court of A Court of Silver Flames, which is the last book in the series, because this was another one that was there. So I got it. A Court of Silver Flames, I got it in hardcover because for some reason I had hardcover. I couldn't find the paper rack, but I could find the hardcover, and I guess it's a good thing because A Court of Silver Flames, it's an orange book, and I hate orange, as I said. And at least with the dust jacket, it's less orange. That's it for my book haul. I also have some Kindle. So yeah, let's add the Kindle books. I bought 2 books recently. One is The Deal of a Lifetime by Fredrik Backman, which is, I believe, a short story, and Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. So yeah. So that's it for my book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give a like, subscribe, and I will see you soon, maybe reading one of these books or one of the books that are supposed to arrive soon. So bye!